So too King of Sparta, Scolopini and King of Sparta go together with 100 to go. King of Sparta up to Scolopini. King of Sparta just in front. Scolopini's coming back, but King of Sparta will just win it.
Welcome to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. I'm back, I'm fresh, and I've got John Walter, who's fresh off Warwick Farm yesterday. How'd you see him?
I didn't see him. I just went and played tennis all day, but we backed the last winner, so that was all right. Mate, it was good to come back and watch that Nash Express. I asked a few questions of the Twitter world and got crickets again. Pretty standard, but no, very quiet in Sydney at the moment. This weather's dragging on. How
often do you place bets and then just go and play different activities? If you don't want to be involved in every race, or what's the theory there?
Yesterday, just a pretty basic card that there was all these marginal races that I didn't really want to get tied up in. So I couldn't really find any positive, negative. So just stay out until the last couple, come back in, have a look at them, chime into the last. Got lucky, chime back out. But not standard, but there's only a 7-race card. There was no backup card. It was just a bit of a funny, quiet day.
I don't mind taking the dog for a walk or chucking the Hawks on or some footy if I don't want to get tangled up in some of the races. DK, I wouldn't mind your advice. I know you give a good buy and a bit of a rest to a lot of races. What do you do in between races? Are you efficient and get through more form, or what do you do so you don't just keep sitting there betting away?
Yeah, well, Scoot and boys, I just got a routine. I stick to a routine. So, every sort of minute of my day sort of allocated, whether it's morning I'm doing video replays, afternoon I'm doing data and sectional times off punting form and stuff like that. At the same time the race, so I'm keeping an eye on them because I want to see if I'm not actually betting in the race, I still want to, because there is a thing, if you're betting in the race, you're connected to it. A thing I've backed today, I've bet in the race it comes out of. So I watched the race, intimate. I know that race intimately. I've just got a thing, I've got a routine, and if I'm not watching the race, but I do want to watch the betting. I reckon if you want to see what's happening, particularly late, what the smarts are backing and where the flux are going, but stay in touch. But mate, that's my MO. I'm an early market punter, so I like I have my bets, put them on, and if I flick the screen on wherever I am. So no, Scoot, it's all that's mostly 80% of what I do. Really, I don't do much at the death anymore.
Nico Noonan, you're there at Sandown yesterday, and you leave a lot of races. What do you do on course when you're leaving them? Are you just frantically taking notes and updating the database?
Usually betting in play in a lot of them when I'm not betting in from sort of before the jump. But sunny Sandown yesterday. It was an absolute bog there. I had the bit of a DK treatment back to a few steamers, sort of 5 into 2:30, one of them, and couldn't get near it. So that was...
Was that race one?
Yeah,
Mitch's horse? Yeah, it was a bit... I just saw it. I watched the replay and I thought maybe it wants further, but Jay Carr said at every chance just got the ground just put up a bit because it ended up pretty wet there, didn't it?
Yeah, it was very wet out at Sandown. So potentially a few forgive runs. Managed to find a dinted head, which sort of helped out the day, but hopefully Moonee Valley's a bit kinder.
Yeah, now Scoot. I'm getting a bit of FOMO this week. Only negative, I backed the winner last week, so I've been up and about. But
little trumpet there.
Darwin, a little trumpet. I could go on about it. It was Henry Dwyer and my man. But Darwin, Scoot. Darwin's on this week. Got a bit of FOMO there. We had that great trip up there. Bloody freezing cold down here. Get up there to what are normally 32 degrees, the best drinking weather in the world up there this time of year. So wouldn't mind being up there, Scooty.
Maybe next year we're trying to get something off the ground with one of the local pubs up there, but we're just beaten for time and just couldn't get a permit through the Darwin City Council. So definitely next year we'll try and get it orchestrated. I tell you what, we're shooting for the stars too. It'll be bigger than Ben-Hur if we get up there, and DK, you'll be first up there.
4 years ago, I reckon it was up there. Where we school was that 4 years ago? It was 2018 now. It's seems like a long time. It was one of the great trips, and bloody hell. I love Darwin. Yeah, go your hardest on that one, Scooty. Get us up there next year for sure.
I'll be trying. I've done a little bit of the form. I thought the favourite in the Cup might be hard to beat. Living the Dreamer, Perth horse, I would have thought. And
I tell you what, there's a bit more to that. He started down here. I reckon he started with Mitch Freedman.
Yep, with Mitch. Then went with Lindsay.
Yeah. And then
I actually bet into that race. He won the metric mile. I thought he was a bit blessed given Dominus missed the start and it was sort of all over from there. I thought the run of the race was on the Fox. He's the 2,000 metre horse.
He's another one from down here. I think Jamie Edwards had him.
He's ex down here. He's the 2,000 metre horse compared to Living the Dream. It's probably a bit sharper. I thought 750 each way he might get me, but that's real sick areas on a Thursday morning to be talking about the Darwin Cup on Mondays.
It's you love. You're a better. You bet. Keep betting.
I've done that race inside out, Nico, so I'm happy to have a couple little side bets there. I think there's a couple of roughies and a couple of big runs from the Chief Minister's Cup 3 weeks ago. So we might post up a little set for Darwin Cup Day next Monday because I'll be betting into all of them, I reckon, for the races throughout the card, and I'll be watching a lot and investing a lot. So interesting. I reckon we'll put a group set out. We'll put out a couple of sets for Darwin Cup Day. It's a great day's racing there, and I just thought Living the Dream was pretty soft, winning last start. And I mean, I'm not convinced with your run, but we can discuss it off air. What else has popped up this week is a new account called TrackScran, which is really interesting. And Mitch Beer's got his little paws all over this one, and it's uncovering the best racecourse food and whistle stops in between. So if you can find food on track or on the way to the races, TrackScran wants to know about it. So we've bobbed up and said that we'll help him out, and so will Mitch Beer in terms of sponsorship. So we might put some prizes up for grabs there.
What's a scran?
Food. It means food. So track food. If you Google scran,
it means like food more than me, and I've never heard the word scran in my life. Is it from a certain?
No, I think it's more of an English term.
Okay.
English term. But if we flick over to the next photo here, I tell you what, there's an early front runner here. This looks absolutely Mickey Mouse. This is your country, Walt. Taree, $12. You can get the beef brisket and caramelised onion gravy burger with chips. And it looks.
Does anyone out there feel that you've lost a child and you're trying to bring him back into the fold through TrackScran, even though he's gone on to bigger and better things? Is that what TrackScran is? Is this you holding on to a memory of someone we've now long forgotten, but obviously you haven't? Or?
No, Mitch Beer, friend of the show, just says, "Mate, have a look at this. Get around this thing." And I thought, well, why not? We love our tucker here, and I think there's plenty of people at the race.
You've got to let him go. He's gone to bigger and better things. You've got to let him go.
It's not done yet. This TrackScran, it's a beauty. Have a look at this. The roast pork roll for $10 at Sunny Coast. Someone else sent that in, and there's string in the burger. So that was free of charge for string. And I don't know.
Pork.
I think that's a bit how you go.
It looks like swordfish.
This looks a bit average.
That's one of those ones from Coles. I don't recognise those strings.
What about the little condiments in the background?
The salt and
I haven't seen them for a long time.
I don't think there's no butter on the roll.
They're from like the 80s, those packets in the back.
Mate, have a look at this next one. This is Tommy Turbo Country. And Johnny McLeod, tucker here, curry prawns with rice, or you can get hot chips. The late mug punter, he'd go chips all the time. That's his special. But have a look at this at the Brisbane Racing Club. So I think you can get that it must mean you can get it at Doomben and Eagle Farm, $17 for the...
There's a plate that's from the 70s. That is not even 80s. That's 70s.
What a beauty that is. So I think Scran of the Week would be whoever sent in that little delicacy at Taree. Tell you what, I'd nearly make the trip to Taree for that beef brisket. We might have to go to Ballina and see if the Ballina Turf Club have got a prawn roll down there.
Taree's not worth going to for many things, I promise you. The roundabout on the way in where they throw bricks at you is pretty good. That's about it. At least on the way out, it's worth it.
All right. So follow on Twitter at TrackScran, and if you want to win a prize, you can send it in, and hopefully it can make the show. DK or Nico, have you got any specialties that from your track visits?
I just think very important that bit there you said, Scoot, about the whistle stops in between, because crowds on track are especially in country tracks, so the food's not what it was back then. And even back when I first started working at the races for Anthony Dowdy, who's a bookie, still a bookie now. Actually, I've got to be the news on him after I say this. He's big on the teeth. He was big on the tooth, so I really learned to eat well under him. And he'd know if we're going to this track, okay, we better go to the bakery. So Seymour, always stop at the Seymour Bakery and get the pies. Geelong, deviate into the middle of town, go to this joint, get the pies and whatnot. So we know there's a lot of people who enjoy their pies, and there's some beautiful country bakeries. So I reckon throw them in as well, Scoot. Now, to look at an ID, had to go to a function at Lamaro's on Sunday, and walk in, and Paul DiMartina's there, and he says, "Well, where are you? Which joint are you in?" Because there was two functions. I said, "I'm in there with Cluffy," and he said, "Well, what's the other one?" He said, "It was David Price's 60th birthday. Carrots from Hong Kong." So Hong Kong seasons is. So I have a look in there, have a look in there, and I see AD in there. So I wander in half an hour later and say, "G'day, AD." And mate, there's some heads there. Hayes, Craig Williams, everyone's there anyway. So then AD says, I said, "AD, how's the booking going?" "Oh, yeah, starting online. So he's going to be the Solarium bet's going to be the 79th bookie. Diamond bet with AD and John Dow and a few very well-known people involved there are going to be bookie number 80. So that was it. And on Tuesday, got to lunch at the Railway Scoot for a steak with F. Hudson.
Lovely.
Hudson, the biggest bookie I've ever seen, Frank Hudson. So and he's got Riverbet going with Ray Swanee. And I always pump him up. I go on stories about Mockbell and stuff like that. I love because I knew in my day Mockbell was always betting with Frank. And my favourite, people say put up your favourite racing photo. I always put up the photo of Mockbell standing there with Frank saying give us 30 on that and 20 on that. And he said one day Tony was doing his clacker. He said, Tony, mate, I need some cash. You're doing your ass. I need some cash if you want to keep betting, I need some money. And he said, I'll just hold on 10 minutes, Frank. And he said he went to the car park, bought back the plastic shopping bag with 300,000 in it, gave it to him. He said, can I keep betting now? Yeah, sure, of course you can. So, but he was saying, have you heard, I don't know if Walt or you've come across this, I said, how's the new bookie, online bookie going? He said, it's great. He's great for the first month or whatever. And he said, then there's this thing where they all self-exclude. So you get the clients, they bet with you, they lose, they self-exclude, and you leave, and you lose them as clients. I'd never heard of it. And everyone said, yeah, it's happening everywhere. It's happening. All those new bookies, they all find them. So he said, yeah, it's great. So you spend the money starting up, you win it all in the first couple of months, and then you lose the clients, and you get your money back, but then you haven't got any you still got the same expenses, but where are you going to get your clients from? So I'd never heard of it, but he said, no, it's happening. It happened to all the new bookies. There's punters wait for them to start. And have you heard of that, Scoot, or not? Walt,
I've heard a bit of it, and I think that's part of the reason why it's
a big issue.
A big issue, and I think it's a really big challenge for these 80 bookmakers that think they can just pop up and do it. Like I know how hard Tristan and the Millhands work, and I bookmake for 7 years. I was betting and watching every AFL NRL game for 7 years. I tell you what, like, it's an absolute grind, and people that haven't done it before, like the phone never stops, the action never stops, and you've got the hottest punters on the planet that are just knocking your door down, especially with these minimum bet limits. So if you had not an established business, I think it's crazy, and I just don't understand where the growth's going to come from with everyone trying to. It's a feeding frenzy, and then there's all these restrictions to try and cap revenue to $1 million. Oh, otherwise you're in the deep blue sea where Tristan is, and he's now having to wind out his prices. So there's a question. It's a good little segue into a question from our YouTube channel last week. It said we were talking about Sportsbet hiding the races in Queensland and playing games where they're taking them out of the next to jump screen. He said this guy Anthony Wellham, he wrote in and said, "Good on Sportsbet ? It's all fun and games until you miss a $22 winner because it's not the next race column. They're also punishing us punters. It's not our fault. It's got nothing to do with us." And he said it's ridiculous that he has to go searching for a bet in Queensland. But I guess when the bookies put new, or when the PRAs and the government puts new taxes in, the bookies have to react and try and work out a way to increase their margin. So they'll widen their prices out, or they'll make a stand and they'll try and hide that product or deliberately decrease turnover to say, hey, this is what's going to happen if we don't promote your product. So you've already seen, I think Ladbrokes have pulled out of the Broncos, and it's just going to be a really tough 12 months. So DK, I think it's no surprise that these people are going to self-exclude, because these people have already self-excluded at all the big boy joints. And I think it's going to come to a head in the next 2 weeks, because there's a national list that goes out, and it's going to put the clamps on everyone. So,
but you're not bound to do it. So you got at the moment little ones opening up 2, 3, 4 of their own clones of their own website to pass the problem gamblers around.
Exactly.
So you got 80 companies now that all they're doing is basically promoting problem gambling, even if they're not aware of it.
Yeah.
So the only people looking for a home are the people that are jumping from one to the other. And that's who if it continues down this path, that's who we're going to rely on to fund the industry.
And I think there'll be a few people that are opening up these clones to skirt around the rules, no doubt. There's
no rules. They're actually not even, at the moment, you don't have to, unless they've self-excluded with you, you can still bet them, theoretically.
Yeah.
It's wrong, I think it should be a national register, and as soon as you're on that register, if you take a bet from that person, you should check it every day against your database. It can't be what's going to be on there, 10, 20, 30 people, who knows?
I'm saying there'd be people knowingly opening up extra white labels to get around.
That's what they're doing. But they're not breaking the rules. It's horrendous, horrific, but it's not breaking the rules.
DK?
No, spot on. That's what Frank said. I said, now you've done it, and he said, well, now it's sort of turnover's drying up and stuff like that. What would you do? Probably, they only went small. They just got basic software and just stuck their toe in the water. And he said you'd probably, start again with some, and go again, because once you lose those. He said, bookmaking in the old days when we were there was all about, it's good, you had your clients, and sometimes you only need one. And a lot of those big guys, and Mark Reed, he started with 3, great clients that got him going and stuff like that back in the day. And, you look after them. Remember Alan Tripp used to say, you only need one. You only need one. But that was in a different era and a different time. But AD's been one all about looking after clients, giving them great service. It's an ongoing relationship over time. But now they just come on, bet for a month, do their clacker, self-exclude, go to the next bookie. Self-exclude there, lose, self-exclude, go to the next.
You can't keep up with Sportsbet with what they can give them. That's the problem. And so at the moment, the little guys can afford to keep up a little bit because they don't pay the same margin that someone like Tristan does, who's stuck in the middle, or Sportsbet, which is fair enough. They've got a bigger threshold, so they can afford a bit more. Someone like Tristan's cast, because he can't keep up with the promotions and keep good prices, so he just loses his clients back up to Sportsbet after, whether it's a day, a week, a month. They just go back where they came from. You can't keep up. So it's not Sportsbet's fault. They're doing their best to keep their market percentage up. And the taxes are strangling the people in the middle, and the little guys, as you say, they've just got to sort of offer what they can for as long as they can, but it doesn't help anyone really.
And the problem is this, and they're just over-servicing prize money. So it might take a while to correct, but fingers crossed it can.
They're over-servicing prize money, and they're over-servicing
top end of town.
Retail, what do you call them? Recreational gamblers to hold them, and anyone who's not in that bracket is cast.
He was saying, Ben, our mate, we know him, I know him from Darwin, and that's good. Ben Cray's had a win, because Hudson said, he said the only rule enforced on any product you have to go up on by a certain time was New South Wales trots. They've got to be up at 10 a.m. every day. But so you can't just not put them up till the last 30 seconds.
But you can go at 150.
You can go up what you like.
You can still make a mistake, but that's the problem. They're going up 140, 150. Like it's.
But you have to. But no. So I don't mind. If you don't want to bet, don't put the prices up. Simple.
Agree.
Oh, yeah. I think what it's going to it's going to come to a head, and I think Richie Irvine's going to step back into space, and we're trying to form this punters coalition. I think he's sort of fishing in the right sort of pond where it needs to be a national body that sets minimum bet laws and sets the rules. It's going to be expensive and costly to set up, but I think it just has to come from top down, and then everyone needs to work around the rules. So it's every joint's on the same page, and naturally the market will find
it's got to be a two-place thing, because if you put minimum bet laws up, all that's going to happen now is they're going to put market percentage up. So there's got to be it's got to be a two-faced attack, because otherwise it's just ridiculous. Exactly. All that minimum bet laws do now is they just you're getting $3.50 instead of $4. But
I said it to Frank, and could you have ever envisaged that in 2012 or 2010 or when I finished at Sportsbet 2013? That we'd be here where we are now with, it is so cyclical. And 10 years earlier than that, we're on the track blasting away with the tracksuit gang, and the track was still the place to be. 10 years later, Sportsbet had just were taken over and TopSport and all that get up and going. And now, 10 years later, we've got 80, going to be 100 online bookies. It's just an amazing cycle.
It's just all false, isn't it?
It doesn't stand still. It just doesn't stand still. And it's, it's amazing.
I'll tell you what's going to be good fun is next Thursday, the Coffs Harbour Punters Club. So we're going to fly our man-to-man Borco up, and we're going to film it out of my place, same as the Gold Coast Magic Mean Stream. So Walt's going to come here, and we're going to get Donnie as well. So they're going to be blasting away on all the Coffs Harbour Punters Club. I think there's Kembla as a supporting card, Cranbourne, and I think there's some Pinjarra there.
Donnie will be scouting the non-tabs. He'll be scouting everything already. He'll be onto it.
He's very thorough, our man Anthony Don. And I think the most important thing is the sunshine's forecast every day up until Coffs Harbour Cup. So it needs it, because everyone's getting off the fence. So the track might be sweet. I'm not guaranteeing it, but had a little feedback on Twitter. A couple of people want DK flown up just to sit on the couch for banter alone. But you got the footy training or in footy finals?
The last time we were in there, he was up the road and he never even showed up. As if he's going to fly up.
He doesn't. Can't find my house.
Are you serious?
Couldn't find his house. I couldn't find it.
It wasn't at the Chinese joint down the road. Oh, I couldn't believe it.
I think I had a look, Scoot. I think it might be presentation night that night. We had that night. But and I did have a look. I thought maybe if it was Warwick Nabil or Mildura or someone, you might have got me, but I'll just confirm that.
Let's see if he drops Aussie so he can get to 14 name drops for the day so far. He's up to 13 so far. I'm just counting it. He dropped 13 names so far.
Is it?
Yeah.
2 bundles and 3 extra.
Can I put Aussie in because he said footy training?
Yeah, go on.
That'd be
14.
What are you trying?
Just keep that tally going for the whole show.
No worries.
DK's word count. I might have to add 2
name
drops and then word count. Word count,
he's broken it. He's dropped 14 names. He's got 18 words.
I'm done for the show now.
I
do the monologue. That's it.
I tell you what, I'm not sure where the Manscaped product is because I've been using it. I just gave the weed whacker a bit of a touch-up, or the other way around, I gave my nose a little touch-up. But keep the missus happy and make sure that you can go full Tour de France cyclist style and go head to toe. You can do it in under 30 minutes. I know because I did it before Hamilton Island, and it lasts about 6 weeks. So you can have smooth everything in under 30 minutes with Manscaped. Promo code
6 weeks.
Well, that's how long it lasts. I'm not a hairy bloke. It took ages to grow back.
I'm not going to delve into that conversation anymore.
20% off. Little Birdie is the code. Manscaped.com. Okay, today's show, we're going to keep going, believe it or not. Is Don as good? Donnie's back for Donnie's best. Bit unlucky. His strike rate's high. We're a big strike rate, less is more type show, Bet Doctor. Pomard and Go Wanji both scratch, so he's striking at 100%.
Does my Milky Bar count because it went on Wednesday?
Yeah, didn't it punch her? That wasn't an easy one.
What about again? What's he doing? How did he get back on it? And then what did he do on it the other? Like he's attacking the stablemate this week. What the heck's going on there?
That was a weird race, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a weird race.
Yeah.
And of all things, the 50-1 shot that couldn't beat it the other day when they went 1,000 miles an hour comes out and blouses him. You couldn't make it up.
Walt, you're going to have a look at Rosehill. You be fresh. I think everyone's had a bit of a cupboard time lately, haven't they? You were in the cupboard. Was it on Sunday?
Scone? Yeah. What's that? Scone?
You're in the cupboard.
Yeah, that was enjoyable. Thanks, Jimmy Innes, looking over his shoulder, mate. Just go for home. Go for the doctor, brother.
Last week, Nico had a cupboard job. DK's been in the cupboard for about 3 months. I had a cupboard job yesterday. So let's preview a couple of the Rosehill races. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully, the weather's a little bit better there. TopSport Steamers, King of Sparta got the chocolates.
Yeah, very well backed, wasn't it? Was it like 5 to 2 to 8s or something?
Huge. Huge go.
Yeah. Inside off, and what a gate one. That's
and
what
Scolopini. Oh, staggering.
A few people made it their lay of the day too. It was very impressive. I cheered at home.
Nico Noonan's going to have a look at the valley. I tell you what, the surface there is Mickey Mouse. It's got a good rest. Marty Siner's done a good job. Beautiful surface, Mooney Valley, always. A lot of talk about bookies, but TopSport's the only one you need, and they'll go down swinging here. They're so determined to let people on and grow the game and support punters that are trying to bet professionally. So don't worry about any of the offshore-owned operators. Make sure you support.
My missus 100% thinks I'm trying to buff Tristan Merlehan. She's like, who's this bloke you keep talking about on the phone all the time? Look at this people. She's like, because he's a bowler, this, that, and they're like, should I be worried? Like, well, you never know. A few bonus bets, you should be worried.
Oh, dear. He's the new BFF. You're on the phone to him more than I am.
Bloody oath.
A little hat tip for you, Nico. Here to shock last week, 10 into 5, and River Rebel couldn't get the job done. But I think you're seeing him really well. Confidence levels must be up. You're patient, but you're confident in the market's moving where you're going.
Yeah, a bit sick last week, but
we got 2 in a week. Race 1, River Rebel and Attrition.
Yeah,
but not one of them could get to the line for you. You'd think one would win, wouldn't you? $5 to $2.50.
We found Passer one last Saturday, which kind of helped, and Indented Head sort of helped yesterday as well. So. Like, even though you can't nail the big one, you're still
the steamers, still getting
something out of it. It wasn't a losing day or anything like that, but
be nice to get a steamer to the line.
Big trumpet here. I think this day last year I might have tipped 5 or 6 winners at the Valley, so I'm trying to re-emulate that on Saturday.
Oh no!
It looks like a cracking card. Race 2, it's the Lunar Hand Care Handicap over 955 metres. Alpha One's a favourite here over 955 at the Valley. It'd be perfect, that strip there. D-Lane on the favourite, 270 from the Snowden Yard. Keysborough, $5 from the Hawks team. Sharla Man, $5.50. B. Mellum. Prado, $7.50. The Guava, $9.50. Epic Centre, $10. Fisson, $11. For Pseudo, $21 and 81 or 91 for the other two in the market.
Snowden Sauce from Hawkesbury.
Alpha One. Yeah. Yep, that's the one there. But Nico's going to take us through a couple of little jump outs here from Keysborough, which is the son of Black Caviar.
Just eat a jump out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You would, Nico. You just love it.
I've become less of a jump out man than what I was, but I think in the 2-year-old races they're pretty crucial. The jump outs. This is Keysborough. He's in the Hawks colours. He jumps straight to the front
this
here.
This is in March.
And I think this is more recent than that, but this was, I thought, a very stylish piece of work. This is, of course, the grandson of Black Caviar, so he's out of Ossietra, who was, I think, her first folder race, who wasn't a hack, probably one of the better ones. Yeah, I thought this was pretty slick work. Just travels up really nice underneath. I think Jai McNeil here, he's under an absolute stranglehold for most of this jump out. I think he has a lot of ability, this horse. This horse that charges at him late down the outside in the Freedman colours is Cannonball, who's a dual sort of stakes winner. you can sort of tie in the form through a few of those horses. I thought his work through the line was very strong there. Now, this one, he took a sit. He sort of half missed the start there. I think he could have gone forward, but I think...
Trying to get him to settle.
I think they wanted to teach him something here, and this was another pretty strong piece of work. This isn't a piece of work that's as flashy as the other one, but I think this piece of work kind of showed he has a fair bit under the hood, and they're trying to sort of keep him under wraps a little bit here. This was another strong piece of work. The horse in the white is Chester Warrior, I think his name is. He came out and ran third on debut last Saturday in the 2-year-old race.
He had a good hit out in this jump out too, didn't he?
Yeah, he was given a fair hit out, the winner, and you look at the horses sort of around him, they're all sort of pushed along. He's in the orange colours and under an absolute stranglehold for pretty much the whole entire straight, and then he really works through the line really solidly here. I reckon if he was let off the chain like Chester Warrior, he would have gone with him there. I thought the first up jump out was good. This is another really handy piece of work, and I think he strikes a race here where I think Alpha One's got a few sort of chinks in him. I think Charlemagne might be looking for a bit further than 1,000 metres. You get Craig Williams going aboard here. He's a well-bred sort of horse. They're not going to be going to the races messing around. If he can win a listed race or a stakes race in 2 or 3 weeks, he's going to be worth a lot of money, this horse. So he's going to the races, and I think he's going to be, right thereabouts to be ready to run a big race on debut, and I think he's got a lot of ability. So not surprised they've held him up this long, probably trying to look for a good track, not sort of give him a bottomless hit out on one of his first starts on a wet track. I think this will probably be like a soft 5 or a soft 6, which will probably be nearly ideal for what a lot of the trainers look for these days, that sort of soft 5 region. So Willow goes on. I think he's pretty smart, this horse. I was very happy to back him at $5. There's a bit of guesswork involved, obviously, with not seeing exactly what he has under the hood, but I'm happy to play at $5.
You never really do with that camp.
No.
Either. They're very kind on them in the jump out.
They're ones that they do let off the... they usually don't have anything left. So I think when they hold them up like that, they've definitely got something to play with.
I think a key there too is they've only given him 1 jump out. They always give him 2. He's obviously just the one. Well, he's ready to go. He doesn't need a second jump out. But and that 9.55 will be... he's there for he wants the bit of tempo to get him to settle and that. But what can you tell us about Alpha One, Walt? You can know it?
Very solid horse. It's just very fit too, very fast. It'll be a good test to get past. It did run off the track the other day, but that Hawkesbury track had upset a lot of horses. It's just its first up win was like dynamic, very good. Beat some nice horses. Not too much form's come out from behind. I thought it might, but it did beat them by sort of 6 or 7 or something. And then the other day, a little bit flat. I just thought maybe it was a little bit flat the other day. Like it'll be a good test to get past it. It won't be a gimme.
I thought, because when I just had a quick look at it when I saw you were involved in this race, Nico, that they will be... So Charlemagne was a change of tactics the other day because it went forward its first few starts and over-raced a bit and didn't get the job done. Malum change of tactics the other day, ride it quiet, get it to settle and finish off. Keysborough, they want it to settle and finish off, won't they? So they'll be there, but they'll be looking for cover while he'll probably be stamped urgent. So I reckon it makes an interesting race, but...
I think the speed's a crucial part, isn't it? Because you look at sort of Charlemagne's coming through a race where they sat up a bit early, but he ran home and
he'll be looking for cover. He'll be looking for cover.
Closing splits, like the punting form data was huge on him late. And then Alpha One, he's led his last 2 at 5.5 above relative to the class and 9.5 above relative to the class last start over 1,000. So now he hits the middle of the 900 and 1,000 with the 9.55 there on Saturday. So if he goes that quick, I think it could bring out...
That'll help your horse, I reckon, because he wants to...
Yeah, if they go quick, I think he'll bring out the best horse, which I think could be Keysborough.
I reckon it's quite interesting. Good way to start.
It's a good race.
What's the date on Saturday?
30th?
So it's still
30th.
July. So it's still this year. No, I'm just saying it's a 2-year-old colt. If it's any good, they'll be desperate to win with it because it looks huge if it ever gets to being a stallion. A 2-year-old win as a 2-year-old. Yeah, so you wouldn't think it'll be trying for its life, Keysborough.
And Willow's airborne. Like, he's absolutely airborne at the moment, Willow. So I think you want to find him.
I don't think he rides for Fonk a lot, or the Hawks, does he?
Kind of like ever since Dunn left, Willow's half had his foot in the door a little bit. He got on a few of them. Remember, he rode More Secrets to a few wins.
Okay, got. Oh, you're right. Kind of sorry, correct. No, that was a stupid comment. You're right.
Mainly McNeil, but I think
McNeil's been doing most later. But you're right. A few of those maiden winners early in the year. I remember he was always on.
Nico early in the card too. That's Scooty's little pearl. He finds what lightly raced early in the card. That's when you pull the trigger.
He's got his MOs in place. He's early in the card, and then there is no guessing what he's tipping next. Like, if you just pick one horse in the whole program, you go, all right, this suits Nico. On you go, Scooty.
I tell you what, Nico might have to come in this out sponsored silk. So he just keeps finding the same sort of operations horses here. But It's the Easy Foam Hand Wash Handicap over 2,500 metres, race 5 at Money Valley, and it's Rudyard favourite 420, Farrago 480, Mimi's Award 650, Black Queen 950. Here for a good time, that's my motto, 950, King's Charisma $10, in from 16, D. Oliver, C. Mar Oosters, and the Moonlight Gambler, Moonlit Gambler $11, Lord Boozer on $13, TFLO Star 21, and Nordic Pride 26, and better the rest. Shock me here. King's Charisma is the horse that we're going to have a look at. Nico, tell us why.
I'll take a cap or something like that if they want to sort of lend me some merch there.
Who? You want Australian Bloodstock or Mar Oosters or who? You're with a few can.
Yeah, I do like. Well, we found 2 Australian Bloodstock horses last week. They were in 3rd and 2nd, so hopefully this one can go one better. It's been 16s into 10s, King's Charisma. Thought 16s was a big price. Think 10s is a big price. This was an enormous run relative to the day. Like nothing made ground, and he absolutely charges to the line here. Second fastest last 200 metres of this race. I think this was a bit of a chinky race, but he's not really a 2,000 metre horse. He's definitely dead set 2,500 stay all day. He started second favourite in the Lexus. I know he probably didn't run up to it, but there's always been a market sort of expectation around this horse. He's got a fair bit of ability as well. Backed on his debut here in Australia. He ran a good race behind Durst and Mancayan before the Lexus last prep, and I think that was also 3rd up that race. So gets here 3rd up, 2,500 metres, gets Ollie, which I think is very prevalent given the connections. They don't really go looking for him that much. He's been 16s into 10s, so not shocked to see that move at all. And he's bringing in like the Saturday sort of form here. Like Rudar's coming off the midweeks, Mimi's Awards coming out of that strange, really slow stays race behind Horrifying and Through Irish Eyes. I thought she had every chance there. Here for a good time's coming off the midweeks. Farrago gets Willow, but he's going to get a long way back. Like King's Charisma, I think he's one of the better performed horses in this race, and 2,500 metres, sort of 3rd up. Mar Eustace is where you want to find him, and you get Ollie. I was very surprised he was sort of double figures in the early betting. I could get him much shorter.
I reckon they got him going, put him over the sticks, Nico. See that? He sort of had the first up run, then he went had the jumps trial. And I reckon then he ran good the other day. So.
I like that. You can sharpen him up. The Hamadaeus did that sort of last preparation. I remember they put him over the sticks in a few hurdle trials and come back and won a few races. They know what they're doing. And sometimes with these old geldings and, the European horses, they got some quirks and those kind of things. So anything to freshen their mind up, they'd be obviously trying different stables with him in that. And I think whatever they've done this prep is working.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at Morphettville Lightning Stakes. Race 8 is a feature there. Extremely Lucky's favourite, $4. Scorched Earth, $4. A little bit of TopSport steam there, $4.20 into $4 from Maloney Camp. Carlos, horse of Walt's, $4.20. Unflinching, $8.50. I Am Bene, $10. Royal Dress, $11. Keep Reading, $18. And you can get better the rest. Any thoughts here, Nico, on a horse like Scorched Earth with the TopSport steam, and maybe you, Walt? Any thoughts about the trial of Carlos? If you're just jumping the water here to try and get some black tie for the 3-year-old? Any interest?
Got me stumped. I can't pull the trial out of my little brain, but I do remember the mare. Does that help you, Calliope?
No, it doesn't.
I was on it for an absolute fortune one day at Hawkesbury, got beat by nose in a maiden. They ran track record time. You don't get over those sorts of things quickly. No.
Well, she's not racing, so that's all irrelevant. Nico?
I'll bring something to the table. I think Scorched Earth, she's like a 1,000 metre, 1,100 metre horse, so she probably finds her sweet spot, 1,050. She's pretty good at that level. Extremely Lucky's got some massive figures to his name. Don't know if he'd be cranked up, sort of ready to go to win a Lightning, but I wouldn't be shocked if he's coming over and running in some good races this spring in Victoria if he's running well here. Unflinching is a dead set 1,000 metre horse. For his last start, the 3 runs prior were very strong. Carlos is a bit hit and miss. Last prep he didn't really come up, but his form prior where he sort of, I think he won the Poseidon or the Danehill down the straight at Flemington, would probably see him in this. But yeah, I think this is probably Scorched a sweet spot at that sort of distance. I wouldn't pen Royal Dress. I think she's probably in the game, but I've got to do a little bit more work on the race. But it does look a few chances. A bit of a tricky race. I remember when Nature Strip won this race beating Sunlight and they offered up $2. Don't think the punters are going to get it that easy this year, but I think Extremely Lucky may be the best horse. Just maybe wait till 2nd or 3rd up.
What'd you make of Royal Dress last start win? 7 lengths at Donald.
Was good, very good. She seems like she's come back a bit better this prep.
Yeah, she's always had wraps on it, always trialled good, and the jump on the lure there. If you jump on the bunny there, sometimes it can be, you can be overachieve a bit. So, if it's a one horse race sort of thing, those things I call them sometimes, and they get into a race like this, which is a real race. So, but yeah, she's always had wraps on her. I think she's she's Cormore, isn't she? So
Yep.
yeah.
Tricky little race, one to keep your eye on. But as I mentioned before, I think there's some early steam for Scorched Earth at the 420 there. So watch the betting flux there. If you want to take your form a little bit more seriously, puntingform.com.au is what Nico and I love. It's the ultimate comparison tool. So yesterday, for example, you can just, once you find a track or a situation that you like, you can just drop yourself in and you can analyse any form or any race and I can do a race in about 20 or 30 minutes once you got the gist of punting form and once you can understand the benchmarks and stuff like that. And it's really good if you can try and find some track patterns and profiles and very fast to do the form. So if you want to go to the next step, make sure you trial puntingform.com.au and you can find winners from different races, follow horses, black book, do it all. So make sure you check out that and Shane Baker will give you a tutorial if you need it. Walt, time to talk Rosehill. And I find it a little bit amusing that you've chosen race 7, the Special Achievement Shelby 66 handicap over 1,800 metres. Shelby's back.
Is that the first race of the day that the hand foam wash people haven't got their hands on? So what is it, the Shelby 60? What's he getting a name raced after him for? What?
I don't know. He's done something. He's had
37 runs. Is he being spelled or is he just having a little freshen?
Where is he?
All right.
Hopefully there's still a bit of horse there. Hopefully there's still a bit of horse there. Yeah. Good to see him come back. Wicklow's the favourite in this one up at Rosehill. Is the track going to be better?
Oh, well, I did have a look, and it's a 10 at the moment. I think they've got 42 mils or something and half a mil or something in the last 24 hours. But the next 4, what is it? What day is it? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all clear. But 16 degrees or something. So wouldn't be expecting too much, 4-metre rail. It'll still be a slog fest, I'd say.
Do you always have to use your fingers to go Thursday, Friday,
Well, I don't know
Saturday?
what day it is. I was trying to work out what day it is first, and I actually work out my week by, Monday I get to spend with Paul Daly, Thursday I get to spend with you. So that's how I sort of work out the week.
Thursday,
Sunday, family day. That's it.
Wicklow's a favourite here, $3.50. Aramis is $7.50. Kirkby, $8. Caesar's Palace, $11. Fiordland, $11. Highly Desired, $12. Phillipsburg, $12. Dr. Evil, $13. Karlstad, $14 and $21, or better the rest. Go have a look at Wicklow last time at Grafton, over a mile.
So this is my throwback just to Mug. I know you put the scran in. I just wanted to tip Wicklow because of Mug. So this day it was like dynamite leader or on pace. Up the inside was certainly the place to be too. So and for whatever reason they just handed the race to Surf Dancer as well. So it was absolutely sickening. If you're on a back marker, you just had no hope. And I think Wicklow sort of, even though it looks like it peaks late, it really puts in a strong effort to make up any sort of ground. And the stablemate, is it Wairiri Falls, coming with it was a good effort too. Just a complete forget and just a really good sit sprint run up of a run that's going to really bring him on to, he's some tidy sort of horses here have been racing on hard, testing tracks. He's going to come in here with pretty fresh legs. The problem is he's going to get back a little bit if potentially there is any problem. But you've got quite a bit of speed, Highly Desired, Caesar's Palace, hopefully Karlstad and Tudor Prince kick up inside, and Wicklow should be, Bowman on, doesn't matter. He'll judge it. If they go slow early, he'll be midfield. If they're going quick, he'll just let it relax like he did the day it won early in its prep and should be strong late here. Just looks to be, just have a bit of class on these. I'm scared of one horse, and that's Fiordland, drawn out wide, stablemate. And if it gets in, if they sort of all press forward and it slots in 4th, 5th, it's going really well. Sort of jumps up in trip, but I think it's 4th up, so it should be ready to go. And if Wicklow finds trouble, it's the one I'm scared of. But I think Wicklow will be very, very hard to beat here.
Beautiful. So typical, we're going to go the Waller favourite and we can get wrong Wallet.
We can get wrong Wallet, and then you got 16 other wrong Wallers to choose from if you really want to cop it right in the Khyber.
Gee, Brock Ryan was lucky he didn't bring down that stablemate. A sharp left-hand turn there. Very, very fortunate not to cause a fall in that race at Grafton. Scary. Missed by millimetres, I would have thought.
We're lucky that the big boys are all pretty much back now. I think they might take a week or two to get back into stride. Probably a good day. Like you saw McDonald, a couple of short ones. I think he got one home yesterday, didn't he? But while they're still sharpening up after a month or so off, a few of them have had. It's interesting times, but they'll be back with the good horses.
What's the long-range weather forecast in Sydney? Are these how are the tracks going to go in spring? The problem
is rooted a word you're allowed to say in life. They're basically just tired. Like even when the dry comes back, if it does come back, it's not going to be till late spring, summer that we're going to get the growing conditions to sort of patch it all up. It's going to be it's a long road ahead for all these tracks in New South Wales. You can see they're going down with under 10 mils of rain at the moment because they're a bit, patchy and muddy and slippery and dangerous. So I'm not saying that tracks they're racing on are dangerous. That's why they're not racing if they are. It's just nothing they can really do about it.
Yeah, it's the long-range forecast that I've had a look at. September looks like it's going to have 10 days of rain.
Yeah, good.
Like August, not too bad. But I tell you what, they're in for a shock. And I tell you what, doesn't look any better in October. October looks gonzo.
I think so. Just keep. The problem is with all this is it's just sort of unprecedented. So every week you're lining up, they're moving rails, they're doing what they can to try and patch things up, but they're doing things that are out of the norm because they have to, which is fine. Absolutely no knock on them, but it's just very difficult to sort of set up early. Found that myself that 90% of betting or 99% is late if you are betting. And, sacrificing. If there's a setup where you're happy to take an angle, like maybe Scone the other day where the rail was been out 5-6 metres for 2-3 months, they dropped it back to true, you can take the punt that the fence is going to be good. But if you're really not sure, and it's sort of the smarter angle to take, I think, at the moment, even with these city tracks that you've got a lot of data on, you're better off sort of sacrificing the first couple of races if you have to, just to have some solid idea of what the track's going to race like.
If it stays wet all spring, the autumn shenanigans of all the wet track form should hold. So it'll make your life easier, Walt.
So it'll come back round. I reckon there's about 1,000 people out there with 40 horses in their black books waiting for dry. Yeah. There was one that sort of popped up yesterday and I missed it. I bloody was playing tennis and whacked it in the chat room too late. I saw that Pracia Light who's been racing quite well in Sydney with not a lot of luck and ducks up there, gets a dry track and wins me $5 at $18. But there'll be a lot of form reversals when it does come dry. It's going to be a nightmare, but it is what it is, and you face what's in front of you.
No, it's going to be exciting spring ahead. Race 8 is the Winter Challenge. So they try to get this one off the ground. No luck with the races abandoned. And we've seen a couple of horses sneak into the field here. And Crosstalk is the favourite now, and it's one of them. It's $3.50. Gaybot Yard, Jean Van Overmere, and Jojo was a man, $3.90. Second favourite, Too Much to Bear, $7.50. Gold Trip, $9.50. Durson, $11. Oscar Zulu, $11. Snippy Fox, $14. Year is $16. Charlize, $21. Looks like Elvis. I think he's also nominated for Eagle Farm. It's $26, and you can get much better the rest. We'll have a quick look at Crosstalk here in the white and brown. He was fourth offence, and now that's him getting sort of like punched along there in the white sleeves, just about to overtake the leader here.
He got the dream run here, but they went, when I say dream run, I think they went like 15 above or something to the 600. So they went 100 mile an hour. It was like 10 above, whatever it was, and they came home like horribly slow. So whatever you're seeing here, he's not doing a lot. He's just out-toughed them. And it was very weird that the back markers didn't get into the race. Obviously, the track was sort of playing a bit on speed, but they went significantly, quick there and got home. What's that done to him? Has the extra week helped him? He's not a horse that I feel like that day I was pretty much against him because I thought the back markers had come into it and he sort of got a better run than I probably thought he would, but he probably went better too. Here he looks to get a really nice run, which sort of makes it a little bit more difficult to oppose him. The weird part of this race is that you got Gold Trip comes in. There must be a 61 kilo max top weight or something. And he should be getting 16 kilos off Gold Trip. He's getting 8. Jojo was a man's meeting Crosstalk 4 kilos better than he should at the relative weight. So he should be getting 3 kilos more off Gold Trip than what he is, but he's still, relatively better in than Crosstalk. So class-wise, Crosstalk's got to really step up. And that extra week and, any sort of time for the track to dry would be in Gold Trip's favour. I was kind of against him last week, but this week you've sort of got to factor him in a little bit more, and even Durston, that extra week may help him too. I thought his best runs well here. He's still sort of 5 kilos poorly off in the weights at Gold Trip, so he's really well weighted Gold Trip. It's just the setup for him that's the issue. The two favourites have got perfect setups. Jojo should sit right behind. Crosstalk should cruise across lead or sit outside lead, and they should get their chance. They shouldn't go furious tempo here. It's just it's a bit of a wash race for me. I couldn't really find an angle, to be honest. Last week I thought they were going to go really quick and you could find a couple of roughies to back. This week it looks like they just get perfect runs, but I don't really want to be in their corner.
What about you, Nico? Are you in the fan club? C. Mar, Eustace, Australian Bloodstock? You got the cap on. You're gonna have a little nibble at the 950.
I'll take the cap off for this one. I think Crosstalk's really smart. I don't know if we talked about him a few weeks ago. I remember talking about him on some show I was on, and he was, like Walt said, that was a really fast run race, and he just sort of out-toughed him there late. The start prior, he bumped into Jojo, wasn't man, started 350. He actually meets him 3 kilos, I think, better for that performance at the weights for this run. So all sort of relative that, isn't it? And you look at it, that was a good 4. Now they get back to sort of a heavy 10 where Crosstalk's unbeaten this prep on the wet ground, and overall got a very good record on the wet ground as well. So I'm glad he's had an extra week between the runs, because that could have flattened him that last start. But it's not the camp where you want to be sort of jumping off them too early. They seem to run through brick walls when they shouldn't. The Waterhouse Spot team, they're tough as their horses. If he can win this, I'm interested to see where he measures up in the spring, because if he's winning this and beating Jojo was a man, I'd suspect he's every chance to be, if he can keep progressing, a lightweight chance at an Epsom or something like that. But he's probably got to come out and show it on Saturday. But I wouldn't be shocked if he did. I'm kind of warming to him. I kind of want to back him, but I'm a bit outside of my lane here, DK.
I reckon the money will come for Jojo and Crosstalk will be soft.
Drift.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be soft. And I'm with Nick. Like, if you want to back one of the two, I think Crosstalk's got far more upside than Jojo was a man.
Can we see $5 about Crosstalk?
Well, I thought you would get it last start and it started at evens or something, and they were jumping out of trees to take it. So it's a bit of a funny horse for me to gauge what it's going to do with price. But yeah, it's interesting. It'll be interesting. It's worth keeping an eye on.
I'll tell you what, if you want more of John's action, and as he said...
Going to talk about my Roughies or not? We're not going to just talk too much today.
Hey?
Can we just mention, I wanted race 9, but I missed the cutoff by 7 minutes. There's a horse in there who's tried like a rocket. I think it ran second in Hawkesbury Guineas before it a spell. It's going to be last with Jay Ford over 1100 first up, so don't expect it to be 100% on the job on Saturday, as in it may have a goal later on, but it could just be too good from Dalcini. I think it's a pretty smart horse, and if you want to watch its trial on the synthetic,
$21.
Yeah, it's $21. So it's just a stab at it's a horse that you would stab yourself in the head if it got up at $21, and because it's better than these, I know that, and it's just a matter of whether it can overcome a few hurdles on Saturday. Dream Circle's gone 12-14 back to 11. Standard David Payne scratch your head set up, and it's the other horse in the race at sort of $15-16. I thought they could run well in the last. I'm just not a big fan of Easy Single, who's going to be a pretty short price favourite. So anyway, looking around then. So
Dalcini $21 and Dream Circle $12 at TopSport. So make sure you back both of those, and then buy your shares in the Coffs Harbour Cup Punters Club with your winnings there, because I think it's going to be a fun little day on a Thursday arvo if you want to watch the races and build a bank for next Saturday. Terrific stuff. Racingwatch.com.au is where Walt's Discord chat is. And as he said, with with so much weather around in the Sydney races, you get his final thoughts on race day. And I sort of agree with what he's saying, especially rain-affected tracks. It's good to see how the track plays in the first couple of events, and you can often find angles that people have missed. So racingwatch.com.au.
It's interesting. I'm going to, from August 1st, I'm changing everything, as in, I'll send sheets out or whatever Saturdays and Wednesdays, because you kind of, everyone needs them as early as they can. Mm-hmm. But everything's going to be like just when I bet, sort of try and send out Telegram, and it'll be 5 to 10 minutes out, which is interesting when DK's, still able to do the opposite. But I'm just finding it so difficult early that I think it's sort of armed with more information. Everything's going to be late now, but that's, it's a great game.
It's time for our new favourite segment. It's Don's Best.
G'day guys, it's Anthony Don here. I'm back for another instalment of Donny's Best for the weekend's racing. Last week was a bit of a tough one. We had both horses scratched on Thursday. I think I started a bit of a scratching pandemic when my two horses came out on Thursday. Splinter in the Grass, scratched on Friday. And even this week, half the bloody Manly team was scratched because they have to wear Pride jersey. Anyway, we'll get some to the races this weekend. I like a horse in race 5, number 10. It's called Huss on First. A really nice filly from the Aday stable. First up at its debut, it was a strong tempo and still managed to run some of the day's best late sectionals. I really like that formula when a horse is stepping up in trip. The big field, the strong tempo, and the 1400 at Eagle Farm, it will suit this filly. I think she might be a really good bum. So that's race 5, number 10, Huss on First. The other one I like is race 1, number 5, C. Marie. It ran a really nice race behind Batiga, who I've got a big opinion of last start. So I've got 2 horses for this weekend, Hustle First in race 5 and See Marie in race 1. Good luck, boys.
Tell you what, Donnie's starting to fish into the Mugs Pond. $3 Hustle First, nice and short. Might drift there, and See Marie's $2.50. So bit of percentage on the board there at TopSport early. So just be careful, watch the market, and see how hot they are. But I tell you what, no stone unturned, Donnie.
He's got one job for the weekend. One of my mates has lobbed in the TopSport Mad Dash at halftime or whatever there it is on Saturday.
Yeah, the Titans.
And Donnie's got a video up for me. He said, I don't know how I'm going to fit it in between, keeping across all action. But if you can get on Ryan Gailey in the TopSport Mad Dash, he said he'll be 8 spears deep, but he thinks he's immoral.
Do they bet on it?
You got to spin around 8 times on the baseball bat and then run. And he says, I'm in training. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. He's going to peak.
The training would just do my melon.
Oh, yeah, mate, I would chuck 8 spins. I'd be out of business. I'd end up in the side wall.
I could barely, they throw it down. You got to jump over the stick. I don't think I've ever jumped over the stick after 3 spins of the bat. I'd love to see DK do it too after a couple of stubbies. That would be worth streaming.
I wouldn't be able to do one spin. I wouldn't get out of one spin.
His ballroom dancing background had come into play there. He's been spinning all his life.
Let's have a look at TopSport Steamers. The Valley, race 9, number 4, Condos Express. Ex-Lambing, now to Gavin Bedgegood. I think a friend of the show, Clarkey, might be have a toenail of this one. Nico, would you like that bet? $518.
Funny horse. Always shown a lot of ability. I think it is a betting stable, so that might be sort of stable inspired. He's only had 5 weeks since his last run with Lambing, so they may have seen something. I don't think you could back him off his form, so maybe where there's smoke, there's fire there.
Rosehill, race 4, number 1, Lovely Esteem, 400 at $9.50. John Walter, have you read the rundown sheet?
Mate,
or
geez.
have you even
read the rundown sheet? I
don't even know why I said
Mate, I've got that many people staying in my house, I can't get to a computer before everyone sort of wakes up. I'm too scared to do anything. But
narrated notions.
Tough.
Tinny Winnie.
Race.
Elusive
winnable race. How scary is it? 3rd up, going okay, but McDonald on, low draw, gets the nice run. A lot of non-winners in there. Mon Felicity's the horse I'm interested in. Think $14 is big, but you got Reggie coming back from Mykonos. Who knows what planet he's on?
You just tip one of Reggie's. I think he's riding Dream Circle.
Yeah, but that's all right. He's 15-1 or whatever. He's 15-1 here. I don't mind tipping him at 15s, but he's dead set. He could be still bloody breaking plates. and I don't really narrated notions. Tinny Woody sort of dropped off his form. Mig Drizzle needs another lap. So I think Lovely Esteem probably by default is the one to beat.
Okay, $9.50 into $6. So we've all missed the price. Maybe cop unders and win. That sometimes happens.
And just keep betting on Jay Ford in the last, so we're just either really happy or we can put our head through the wall at 20s.
Covered job. Race 8, number 6 is the last one at Morphettville. I've already spoken about this one, Scorched Earth, so there's 1,000 at $4.20. So maybe that horse is ready to rumble. Beautiful. Somehow we've managed to get through the show. How many name drops from DK?
15. He only just dropped that last in to get the 3. He just got the overs home. It was 14.5 was the line, so a lot of people cheering out there.
All right. There's going to be complaints. There's going to be complaints on the YouTube comments too anyway. Oh.
People say,
do we get YouTube comments? Does that actually happen?
Yeah, we do. We get a little bit of feedback.
I'm going to have a look.
Minimal feedback. That's all right.
In myself, I might have to get the little bowler in there.
People say I know a lot of people, but on that word count, on that name-dropping count,
15.
DK knows more people than me.
15 in 27 words. It's not bad.
It's unbelievable.
58% or something.
Nico, you've half mocked yourself for Saturday.
What about that? That's one of the worst I've ever seen. That's Manton all up Terry Bailey. That's terrible.
Five winners. You got a top this week, so $25 to get his Metro Mounting Yard mail. Bit of a tongue twister there via Telegram. So you're mad if you don't try it. And Nico will be the man to follow all through spring. He thrives when the carnival gets tougher. Nico's the one that you want for backing and laying in the yard. Nico, I hope you tip the card.
We've put the pressure on, haven't we? So, look, if we can get him in race number 2, that's all I want. That'll be enough for the day.
We'll see what the betting does there, Keysborough. They're in a little bit of form, the Hawks Yard, and Willow's just absolutely fine.
We sort of touched on it, but Jesus Christ, they're hard to gauge, aren't they? Even the betting, the question I was sort of tonguing to ask was, do you think they know? Because a lot of the time, they've sent very good horses out well backed. They got beat like Masked Crusader and these sorts of things, but like weird tactics they send out, like they're not the state. Like even when the plunge, they're just they do my head in.
I wonder how they go. They do send good horses to the Valley for their first start, and David Hayes used to do the same thing for his 2-year-olds. Horses they're just absolutely pissing once upon a time. Have to do some more research into Hawks, Moonee Valley first time. Do you know, Nico?
I reckon I wouldn't be backing it early. I think the money will come for Charlemagne. They'll keep Alpha One short off those big figures. The syndicates aren't going to gap them. So I'd be taking, I reckon we'll be getting $6 late.
Yeah, but you want it. You want to sort of come out. You want to see something for it, like, you know.
Have a great weekend, guys. Thanks, DK. Good luck over the weekend.
All right. Thanks, boys.
Cheers, guys.
Good luck, Nico.
Outstanding stuff. All right. Make sure you get around the Coffs Harbour Punters Club for next Thursday. Registration's open. Head to Little Birdie TV and you can buy $50 up to $1,000 shares. I'll be in for the maxing out, and Donnie and Walt will go absolutely crackers. So if you deposit early, we can have a couple of bets early on Wednesday when the markets go up. Otherwise, we'll do all the action late doors on Thursday. So it'll be midday till about 5:30 in the afternoon, whenever the last race is. Next Thursday, August the 4th. So good luck on the weekend. Happy punting, and we'll see you next week.